long, so please kind of bear with me. I kind of woke up discouraged and felt like ranting and raving a little bit, and I thought, no, you better just keep looking for jobs for right now. And then I actually got an email from my mom. It was random, and I don't know what she's doing right now. Apparently, she had some downtime. She's not even in the house. She sent me an email from the Sentencing Project to talk about how there are 2 million people in prison right now, and compared to the 70s when there were about like 370,000 people in prison. And I get that, the population has changed, but it hasn't changed that much, and it seems like we have this sort of exponential thing going on where we're locking people up and putting them in prison. And that kind of coalesced with what I was thinking about this morning, which is, things are getting better in this country. We took a detour for a while, and I think we're going in the right direction. But it's really irritating to me, just to see how much is left to be done, and how our current policies, particularly if you guys have listened to the one video that I've made since I've been out, really kind of my focus is on the war on drugs, and it's really irritating to me that more people don't seem to care about this policy that's not working. And how do people not understand? Drugs are bad. I get that. I completely understand. Drugs aren't good. They're not good for us. And then there are people. There's like new stuff coming out where they're saying that like mushrooms help with depression. But in general, I don't think cocaine and heroin are good things. I don't think crack is a good thing. I drink coffee. That's it. And I know I have an addictive personality, but if I drink too much coffee, it doesn't really disrupt my life, where those other things obviously can. So drugs aren't good, but I don't really understand like how more people don't see that by making drugs illegal, we haven't made the problem any better. You can go back to prohibition, the old libertarian argument, which is a good one, that when we made alcohol illegal, we made it more dangerous. Nobody stopped drinking. We created the mob, and we've really done the same thing with drugs. Drugs are super easy to get in this country. However you want to look at it, either the government isn't doing enough to stop drugs from coming in, or they're never going to be able to do enough to stop drugs from coming in. And there's always going to be a demand here. And another question that we have to ask, is it the role of government to tell people you can't use narcotics? The point of government is to protect people and to protect their property. And you can drink, not saying that alcohol is good, but people can drink, and that causes problems, yet alcohol is legal. So it's really kind of discriminatory and hypocritical. And in the past, we've seen that it's really not so much a war on drugs, it's sort of the war on certain drugs. And in the past, we've passed certain laws to pick on different segments of society. But with the drug war, we've really made drugs more dangerous. We haven't stopped drugs from coming into the country. Drugs are coming in. People are becoming addicted. The government is not stopping drugs from coming into the country, and then it's making criminals out of its citizens who are becoming addicted to drugs, who have to become criminals to get the drugs that they've become addicted to. They've made drugs more dangerous by making them illegal. There wouldn't be a fentanyl problem. If people could legally buy drugs, and I know nobody wants to legalize drugs. Nobody wants to condone the use of drugs, but hey, it's making them illegal hasn't worked. Making them illegal is why we have all these people ODing off of dangerous drugs that are coming in from Mexico, and stopping in China first and coming in from Mexico. We've created gangs, we've created cartels, we've sensationalized and romanticized drugs, we've created a gangster culture. We've completely destabilized Mexico. However you want to look at it, our demand for narcotics our demand, for, not mine, but the country's demand for narcotics, and then making them illegal has created a cartel in Mexico. It's created a business opportunity, and the cartel has completely taken over that country. And then we complain about, immigration and people wanting to come up here. It's because they're being murdered down there. It's because it's chaos down there, and it's a result of our policies, however you want to look at it. So I've gone for about 5 minutes, and I just woke up. I've had 1 cup of coffee, so I'm gonna take a break. And I was just hoping that more people could, consider that. It seems like nobody's really talking about it. And the true crime thing I think is good. The whole, the market for it, the innocence movement, but people seem to just be focusing on like all these anecdotal cases. And there are innocent people in prison for serious crimes, but I don't really see why more people aren't on this bigger issue. And maybe it's naive of me to think that you can just talk about something and help fix the problem, or if enough people become aware of a problem that, it'll just instantly change. And I get that it's not really like a shake and bake type of deal, but, waking up this morning, I just thought, you know what, I need to talk about this, because it just seems like there aren't enough people talking about it, and I just don't see why people get it. And I wanted to recommend a book for anybody that doesn't really understand the drug war and the history of the drug war in this country, and it's called The New Jim Crow by 𝓰ⴍ It's a really good book, really sort of changed the way that I saw things. And just one more example, marijuana was illegal for 100 years, and they were putting people in prison for marijuana and locking them up and using violence, using the system to punish people for using marijuana. Now all these states are saying, oh well, it's okay, it's legal, and by the way, we're going to tax it. And some states like California are undermining it because they're taxing legal marijuana so much that there's still a criminal market, and black market marijuana is cheaper. So even then they've legalized it and the policies still aren't working. So anyhow, I'm gonna have some breakfast and another cup of coffee, and maybe I'll be back on here with some more things to say. Hopefully, people agree. Hopefully, people will look into it for themselves and, take it to the polls. I can't even vote.